Northern flickers are among the most widespread and familiar woodpeckers in North America. Despite their common presence, they hide some surprising identification challenges that can puzzle even experienced birders. There are two main types, yellow-shafted flickers in the east and red-shafted flickers in the west. But these types mix and blend more than you might expect, creating many tricky intergrades. In the southwest, gilded flickers add even more variety and sometimes hybridize with northern flickers. This makes identifying flicker varieties a fun and rewarding challenge. More than that, learning to recognize integrated flickers can sharpen your skills for identifying other rare and unusual birds, something that motivates many birdwatchers. Welcome. My name is Greg, and I've been watching birds for more than 50 years. In this video, I'll show you how to identify the main types of flickers, spot the more obvious hybrids and intergrades, and know which field marks to check to be sure of your ID. Look at the malar stripe and nuchal crescent to see a quick and easy way to tell some intergrade northern flicker males apart. Males with a red malar stripe and a red nuchal crescent are intergrades. This is because the red malar comes from the red-shafted flicker, while the red nape, the nuchal crescent, is a trait of the yellow-shafted flicker. These mixed traits help you quickly spot obvious hybrids in the field. Noticing a mixture of facial markings will quickly help you spot a male intergrade flicker. Of course, this doesn't help with females. And not all intergrade flickers are so obvious. But there are several other indications that a northern flicker has mixed parentage between yellow-shafted and red-shafted. So next, I'll discuss the field marks of northern flicker, how to tell apart yellow-shafted, red-shafted, and intergrades. Then I'll move on to gilded flicker and its hybrid with northern flicker and how to tell it apart from the others. First though, let me briefly explain the terms hybrid and intergrade. Hybrids are birds with parents from two different species. These can be considered a one-off occurrence. Intergrades are a population of birds with ancestry coming from two species or subspecies where their ranges overlap. Yellow-shafted and red-shafted flickers overlap and breed freely together in a broad line from Alaska to northern Texas. The physical appearance of some intergrades is obvious, but many are subtle. There's a gradual blending of characters. The yellow-shafted form of northern flicker breeds widely across northern and eastern North America. Many are year-round residents, but northern birds move south in winter. Northern flickers, both yellow-shafted and red-shafted, require larger trees for nesting, yet open ground for feeding on ants. They are tolerant of human activity, so typical habitats include family farms, the edges between grassland and woodlands, parks, residential areas with large trees or stream edges lined with big trees. As their name implies, the feather shafts of the wing and tail of yellow-shafted flicker are yellow, as is the underside of their wings and tail feathers. When flying, this flash of color is usually obvious. Both male and female yellow-shafted flickers have a red nuchal mark. It's located on the back of the head where it meets the neck. This mark is unique to this form and it's not found on the red-shafted or gilded flicker. In addition, male yellow-shafted flickers have a black malar stripe on the lower cheek. Next, notice the color of the entire head. The face of yellow-shafted flicker, including the throat and ear coverts, are brown. The crown and hind neck are gray. The red-shafted form of northern flicker breeds widely across western North America. Many are year-round residents, but northern birds move south in winter. Northern flickers have a wide variety of vocalizations. There's a loud, clear call. The song is a long series of kick notes. And they give a wicka wicka call for which they were probably named. They also use drumming as a song. The feather shafts and underwing and tail of red-shafted flicker are salmon orange. Male red-shafted flickers have a red malar stripe on the lower cheek. Females lack this mark. Next, notice the color of the entire head. The face of red-shafted flicker, including the throat and ear coverts, are gray. The forehead, and sometimes the crown, is brown. The hind neck is usually gray. Intergrades breed from Alaska and western Canada through the Great Plains, along the eastern edge of the Rockies to northern Texas. Northern birds move south in winter and are especially common along the west coast, but also occur throughout the Great Plains. These intergrades often show a mix of field marks belonging to both red-shafted and yellow-shafted types. Here's an easy way to spot an intergrade northern flicker. Look at the underwings and tail color. The yellow-shafted flicker has lemon yellow flight feathers and shafts. Red-shafted flicker has salmon orange underwings and tail. Birds with mixed parentage often have underwings and tail feathers that are halfway in between, a yellow-orange color. Many intergrades tend more to one type than the other, though, so this field mark only differentiates the obvious birds. So next, look at the nuchal or nape mark. Any bird with a red mark on the nape has yellow-shafted flicker genes, even if it has salmon wings and a red-shafted face. In some cases, this might be only a few feathers. Males of both species have a colorful malar stripe, black in yellow-shafted and red in red-shafted. Intergrades may show the wrong color malar for the rest of the bird. For instance, it's common for an intergrade to have both a red nape mark and a red malar. At close range, or with photos, a malar may show both red and black feathers, indicating an intergraded bird. The head color of intergraded flickers often blend the brown and gray areas. Such blending may be noticed on the ear coverts and lower breast, which are normally one solid color, either gray or brown. At first glance, gilded flickers may appear to have a red-shafted flicker head on a yellow-shafted flicker body, but there are differences. Gilded flickers are residents in the Sonoran Desert of Arizona and northwestern Mexico. They nest primarily in saguaro cacti, and that's their identifying habitat. With practice, it's possible to discern the higher pitch, clear call of gilded flicker compared to northern flicker. The flight feathers of gilded flicker are bright yellow underneath, with yellow shafts matching the color of yellow-shafted flickers. Male gilded flickers have a bright red malar stripe on the lower cheek, as in red-shafted flicker. Like with red-shafted flicker, gilded flicker has a gray face, ear coverts, and neck. However, gilded flickers have a more extensive, solid, paler, cinnamon brown forehead, crown, and the entire back of the neck. As with northern flicker, gilded flicker has a brown back with black bars. The black bars are much thinner on gilded flicker and can appear as very thin black lines on the upper back. Rare hybrids between red-shafted and gilded flickers are mostly seen in Arizona and adjacent desert areas. Most appear as gilded flicker, but with yellow-orange flight feathers and gray rather than brown hind neck. They lack any red on the nape that would indicate yellow-shafted genes of an intergraded northern flicker. This image shows how red-shafted and yellow-shafted flickers differ in their head markings. Since many flickers show mixed traits where their ranges overlap, you can't rely just on wing color to tell them apart. Unless you see all the marks, it's more accurate to record just northern flicker on your list. This image shows how red-shafted and gilded flickers differ in their head markings. Red-shafted flickers winter in the desert and occur with gilded flickers, and their telltale underwings may not always show. And yellow-shafted flickers, or intergrades, can show up in winter. So looking carefully at the face of flickers is good practice and will frequently turn up surprises that you might otherwise overlook. Check out my bird identification playlist for other tricky identification challenges. Thank you so much for watching.